Yes. Welcome in to another episode of Triple B, aka Buzzer Beater Banter. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Lyn and Burton, joined by our other host, Mr. Nick Sheremy. This is episode 13. Nick, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. It's a Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Got some Cajuns baseball on the docket in about an hour here for my recording time. And dog, I'm excited. I'm good. Obviously, at this point, everyone knows I was right about Nichols. We smoked the hell out of him. But I'll save that for later. I'll give
we will
some
get
thoughts.
into that. Also, make sure, if you don't know, make sure you check out the blog site Vagabond Sports. We're going to keep mentioning it every episode. Nick has some articles out. I will finally have some articles out by the time you guys hear this. We're dropping this literally right after we record, so you can get it early on a Saturday. We promise our 2 episodes a week thing will be more, right? I just couldn't record on Friday because I had some people coming over to my house. But we got it to you on a Saturday. Nonetheless, we have a great docket for you. Today, we will cover March Madness. We will discuss what has been happening, both men's and women's side. We will talk about some of the updates of the Saints. They did pick up some people, and some things happened in the world of the NFL that is super crazy that I think is worth discussing. And then we will have, just like we have Nick's baseball corner, I did a separate post watching the Pelicans game reaction along with my thoughts for like 10 minutes. So we'll plug that in before we finish with Nick's baseball corner. And also on the Friday show, we'll probably save it for the Friday show, but if you either comment your thoughts on our videos, if you email us at BrosWhoThink@outlook.com, if you tweet at Nick or myself, however you get in contact with us, whether it's a question, a comment, or you just want us to say, hey, we will read your comments on air. We will save that for Friday, and that's how we'll start off every Friday show as a thank you to you, the viewer and the listener. So let's get into it. Today is the start of what should we call it, Nick? It needs a title. Fan reactions or what should we call the segment? It needs a title. I mean,
it doesn't have to be something crazy. It could just
supporter love. Oh, crew love. Duh, I'm a trade fan. Crew love.
Come on.
Oh my gosh, it was right there in my face. So this segment will be called Crew Love. We'll be doing it every Friday. So let's start off with the first of Crew Love. So we got Hunter Oakwan. Shout out to him. He commented, hey guys, I've been fans of you guys since Lyndon had Rise and Grind on ESPN Lafayette. And then you guys had The Huddle. I have some ideas for some wrestling episodes. I'm from New Iberia, but currently live in Rain. I would love to meet you guys anywhere just to get your thoughts on sports. And I will be commenting more often. Maybe we can even collab in the future. Thank you, Hunter Oakwan, for that amazing comment. We would love to, either have a fan meet up with all of you. So I'm not going to call y'all fans because y'all are supporters. Y'all are family at this point. A crew love meetup. Because now that we don't work for ESPN Lafayette, we can do it. We can talk about it. They never wanted us to do it. They never me and Nick begged. Dave begged. They never wanted us to host any type of event. So anytime y'all said it, we didn't know what the fuck to say because our bosses didn't support it because they didn't give a fuck about that station. But I digress. That bugged me because you don't know how many times they asked us to meet with the community, to get invested, but we never had any support behind the scenes. So, but we will do that. So Nick and I can set something up if enough of y'all comment on when and where y'all want to meet. Actually, on this video, in the next video, we'll run a poll. Comment your favorite sports bar / restaurant, whether that's B-Dubs, Adopt a Dog, and B-Dubs Buffalo Wild Wings. Adopt a Dog. Isn't Yard House new?
Yard Goat just opened up. I haven't checked it out yet. I need to.
My girlfriend said it's nice. So
I heard it's really nice.
KOK Wings, wherever. Comment your spot and let us know, and we'll set up an event. Maybe like we can watch the championship of March Madness. Maybe we could do something. We'll set something up, watch a Ragin Cajuns baseball game, something. So let us know. And preferably me personally, I would like to go where there's food because I would love to eat some wings. But I digress. All right. Some wings, Next comment is from one of our, I didn't even know, Hunter O'Quinn, you listened to us from our radio time. So thank you. Another person who has supported us since before Nick was even working with me at the station, supported me with Norm's show, supported Rise and Grind, supported the Huddle, Nick and I's show. So, and Blaze, can't ever forget Blaze. Our guy, Ronnie. So Ronnie commented a bunch of stuff. We will respond to each of them. So the first one, I'd be very surprised if NC State wins the men's March Madness. They can, but I don't see it. So how do you feel about that, Nick? Because the next thing changes the topic.
So I mean, honestly, based on what I've seen from the tournament so far, I mean, they're on this run. Right now, it's Purdue.
You think it's Purdue? Okay.
Well, so it's Purdue they're facing. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
And what I was gonna say is I think that's a bad matchup for Purdue. NC State's got that big guy.
Yep.
Zach Edey won't be doing
DJ Burns
in the paint.
Yeah, Zach Edey
Burns can punish that little skinny kid.
I'll say this: Zach Edey is not as skinny as, say, a Chet Holmgren or a Wimby, but he's not as thick as Taco Fall. So, like,
I mean,
he's somewhere in between.
And I mean, DJ Burns is just a space here in the paint. I mean,
DJ Burns is like a Zion, but taller. Zach Randolph, essentially. So, let me see how much Zach Edey weighs. We'll do this.
It can't be more than like what, 210, 200.
You're guessing 200. Oh, this will shock you. Zach Edey, for all the audio listeners.
What the hell?
300 pounds.
What the hell?
I did not know that, bro. Okay, so wait, ESPN wrote an article. Let me
I forgot he was 7'4". So that messes with weight a lot. Because height messes with weight a lot.
Okay, so the 300 pounds thing I think was last season. He has slimmed down to 285, 290.
Again,
that's still bigger than what I thought he was.
It's because of how height works. 7'4" is super duper tall. I knew he was 7 foot. I knew it started with 7, but 7'4" makes a difference.
But still, DJ Burns. Oh, he weighs 285. Oh, so maybe he won't have the weight advantage DJ Burns,
because he's just denser.
That he's thicker, and I think DJ Burns is faster too. Like, he's more athletic than Zach Edey. So
that's surprising. That shocks me because I think it's all goes back to the height thing though, because I knew he was tall. I didn't know he was 7'4".
Yeah, that shit blew my mind. I did not know he was gonna be.
But that's how
295.
I mean, Yao Ming was super heavy too, and
but I mean, look at Chet and Wimby. Chet and Wimby barely cracked 200 pounds. Like,
but isn't Wimby's like 7? Is he 7 feet? I don't think so.
Yeah. Hold on, now let me pull up this real quick, and then we will finish up answering all these questions.
Oh yeah, so Wimby's 7'4", but he's 200 pounds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Him and Chet Holmgren are crazy. Twigs, brother.
Wow.
So okay,
I don't know much shit when it comes to basketball. I guess I'm talking out my ass.
No. I mean, look, that is fair. I told those dudes are skinny as shit.
Yeah, I thought Zach Edey was way lighter.
Me too. He looks on the TV. He doesn't look heavy. He looks small, a slightly bigger version than Wimby, but smaller than Taco Fall. But I guess him and Taco Fall are the same weight. Taco Fall just was badly built. Zach Edey's not badly built. The weight's distributed everywhere. But I digress. This episode will be out before the game today at 5. So I'm picking NC State. I think DJ Burns will dominate Zach Edey because Zach Edey won't be. All DJ Burns has to do is take him out of the paint and blow by him. And that's what I think is going to happen. I do think Edey will get a lot of offensive rebounds per usual and putbacks, but I don't think in terms of dropping it down to him in the post and him doing a post move on DJ Burns, I don't see that happening as often as it happened with other games.
I will say that, and I also don't know how I feel about the rest of the team around them. Purdue's team is pretty good, but this NC State team, they're on a run. They have this energy behind them. They obviously have the underdog benefit.
And the thing is, they have great guards. Like, it's not really DJ Burns. There's another DJ on the team, DJ Horn. That kid is a baller, bro. He dropped 20 the last game, and then you have help from off the bench and around the team with what's this kid's name? Casey Morsel, and then Ben Middlebrooks. Those two dudes help the offense out a lot. Whereas when you look at Purdue, let me pull up their other games real quick. when you look at their stats and how they've played, it's mainly been Zach Edey. Zach Edey dropped 40 points. The next highest person was their guard, Fletcher Lawyer, Lawyer, however you pronounce it, Loryer.
Yeah,
Well, I'm pretty sure that's Lawyer. He had 14. No one else came close to double digits. So that team lives and dies by Zach Edey. And honestly, Lawyer's points came off a double team wide open shots. They won't have to double team Zach Edey as much as other teams because DJ Burns can handle his all. I have NC State beating Purdue. The problem then becomes, what do they do against the winner of UConn and Bama? Because if UConn wins, they are a better all-around. They have more than two people. Like, NC State has two quality people and then two role players aside of. UConn has a starting five that is great and then role players. And they, as we said last episode, they play their style of ball and nothing gets them out. They make you play how they want. And on the other side of that coin, you have Alabama, who's the fastest team in the country, shoots the most threes, and makes you play at their tempo. If DJ Burns plays Alabama, they might tire him out and get that team fatigued because NC State plays slow.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I mean, it's going to be, I mean, that's going to be a very interesting matchup, and that's going to be,
it just depends on who UConn, if UConn or Bama wins. That's today at 7:49. I will be having that on the smaller screen because it is WrestleMania weekend, baby. Yeah. So make sure you watch our WrestleMania predictions. We don't talk about that on the sports show. We have a whole wrestling podcast on the side. But thank you for one of your comments, Ronnie. Let's get into another one. He said, Chris Paul is a great comparison. I think more Westbrook with her all-around game, rebound, pass, and score, talking about Paige Bueckers in our comments about her. Well, Paige Bueckers' time in the tournament is over. UConn lost to Iowa last night on the buzzer, Nick. The referee called such a bad, like, you don't make that call in those final moments. I know some people may say, oh, that was a foul. I didn't think that was a foul. I think that was just a solid screen, more so a flop. And if you call that, why did you not call the Caitlin Clark push-off shot right before, which was clearly an offensive foul? It's like, I understand they wanted Caitlin Clark in the championship, but like, that was two bad calls at the end of the game.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that I think we sometimes forget about when we talk about predictions and such, is that sometimes, man, the refs just
screw these things.
Your whole thing apart. Yeah,
like, I mean, just mess it up.
At the end of the day, though, that was a much better game than I think I thought it was going to be.
Facts, me too. I thought
it was going to go one way or the other, like very hard.
Let me
a lot closer to like what South Carolina NC State ended up being, but.
Let me give Caitlin Clark's teammates props because we thought it was just going to be the Caitlin Clark show, and she was not the top scorer.
No, she
wasn't. Top scorer was Hannah Stuelke with 23 points. Shout out to Stuelke. And then you had off the bench the guard Kate Martin. Oh no, she is the starter. Excuse me. The starting guard Kate Martin with 11. You had the other guard with 8. Like, her teammates showed up this game.
Yeah,
I got to give it to them. And then Paige was trying to be not as selfish. She had 17 points, 3 assists, but she had more so. She had like 7 pass the ball to get the next pass open.
Yeah,
so
pass to assist. She had
the 7 hockey
ball
assists.
Movements. Yeah. A lot of ball movements, but it's just, man, like,
she had to be more aggressive. And Gino Auriemma said it in his press conference of this was a great learning moment for Paige, because you got to remember Paige has been injured and hasn't been in these big moments because of her injuries. This was her first real tournament appearance, and Gino said she's got to learn that she is the most talented one, and she has to take over.
It's the rare fault of the humble superstar is
the LeBron effect. Literally,
they're too humble. They want to bring the ball around. They want to get it to the open.
Get their teammates involved and make the right play. Honestly, when you're taught basketball, the way Paige Bueckers and LeBron plays, that's the right play. The Kobe Michael killer attitude take over the game. That was considered ball hogging. Let's call it spade.
Yeah, it is. It was broadly considered ball hogging, and like, you have to be a very special kind of player to know that you can do that.
Yeah, facts. The Caitlin Clarks, the Kobe's.
There are probably tens of thousands of high school basketball players in the world who think they are Kobe.
They can do that,
who think they can pull that. But there are probably almost just as many that can do it and don't want to.
And try to play the right way.
Because they're trying to play the game the right way.
And that's what Paige does, man.
Interesting, yeah.
So Paige had 17, 3
She's
official assists. Yeah, she does. 4 rebounds and 7 hockey assists. Shout out to her teammate, Aliyah Edwards. She really balled out, and they're the one who called the foul on, and she was crying. Aliyah, don't worry. Bounce back from that. You had 17, 8 rebounds, played a great game. It just was a little too physical of a screen, but in the next level, they won't call that. So don't worry about that. I think UConn will be back. I think they are going to be the prohibitive favorite going into next season because their top stars are coming back. Angel Reese is not going to LSU. Haley Van Lith is transferring, which, real quick, isn't that crazy? The fact that the fans got on her, she felt like she, let the team down in a sense, and she did. Is she running from the challenge, Nick? Me personally, I think if a competitor type shit, she should have took that on the chin and said, you know what, Mulkey, I'll take the challenge and I'll be better next year. But instead, I'm calling it she's running from the grind. If we can say that about men, I'm saying it about the women.
I think there's a difference. To me, I think there's a difference of being able to kind of stand in and take it.
Mm-hmm.
And then being able to like say, hey, well, I'm not.
It just doesn't fit.
Run from this. I'm sticking with it. And then on the other hand,
she fits there.
Exactly. Like I think. I mean, obviously, we're not in her head. I'm not going to try and pretend to understand what's going on, but in my mind, I think this is a situation where if you really want this to be your life, if you are this tied in with your sport and you love it that much,
want to go to the WNBA and all that,
you got to shut out the noise.
Yeah.
Because that's going to happen. That's going to happen at the next level, and it happens from your own fans, and it happens from other fans, and it's something. I mean, a lot of people don't have the mental.
It's an expectation. Fine. It's an expectation that you are supposed to.
It's not fair.
Base. It's not fair. But when
but that's what it is.
You're getting top NIL, when you're the top player in college, when you're supposed to be. When they viewed you when you transferred, you and Angel Reese were supposed to be Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. Y'all were supposed to be Chris Paul and David West. Y'all were supposed to be Shaq and Kobe. And Angel lived up to her end. You didn't, Haley. And I don't know, after she did the same thing at Louisville where she, lost in the tournament and was like, I want to go to a better team. So maybe she's always been running from the grind. Hopefully she can bounce back and do well at her next place. I don't know where she goes, bro. It's not like she's going to go to a top school. Like, she's not going to UConn.
Well, I mean, we do the same thing with players in the NBA too. I mean, people just bounce around trying to fuss about that.
That's what I'm saying.
Chase the chip, and I mean, it's like that. Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
If we fuss about Kevin Durant, I'm gonna fuss about HBL.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that kind of makes this a little different is this is still technically amateur basketball.
For sure,
because it's college, it's amateur basketball. A lot of these girls still have some growing up to do, and I say that as someone who's not much older than them. Like,
and honestly,
still have a lot of growing up to do.
I was at that age, I had a lot of growing up to do, and I still had, we're still maturing. So
and so I mean, that's an element of I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I will, but
it's not a good look.
Once is a coincidence, or what is it? Twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern.
Yeah, that's fool me once, shame on
yeah.
Fool me twice, shame on me.
We can't get fooled again.
Facts. I'll say this, because you said it earlier. Maybe there's something there that we don't know. So if there is,
that's exactly.
I'll give her grace for sure. But if it's what I think, then there's no grace. Sorry, Haley. You're a top athlete. You got to deal with that. But also, NC State lost to South Carolina, like we figured. South Carolina is just a juggernaut of a team. We will discuss the winner of that after Ronnie's last comment. And then we'll get into that portion of the show. So Ronnie tweeted, commented on our video. It's sad how they did those girls, lots of racism in that junk. The media in itself condoned that. Mostly a racist unit that attacks people in their character were able to get their voice out and do it again. Look, we don't have to spend too long on that because me and Nick broke that down fully on the last show. I agree. Did not like how people reacted. Also didn't like how certain prominent Black voices tended to agree with the hate spewed by that brand of the world. And it's just like, oh, so you're doing it for the check. It's just like you showed your moral compass. So we don't need to spend too much longer on that. But I'll say this, jumping into that's the end of Crew Love. Shout out to everybody who commented. and gave their thoughts. If you want to be a part of the next week's Crew Log segment, comment on the videos that's under this video that's released, comment on the Tuesday video that gets released, the early week episode, or tweet at Nick at share me.
Share it's me.
Oh,
CHERITSME.
Yes. Tweet at Nick or tweet at me at LynBWT, or email us at BrosWhoThink, all caps, no spaces, BrosWhoThink at outlook.com. The links to the email will be in the description of this video, but that's Crew Love. Can't wait to do that each and every week. Now, we talked a lot about the women's Final Four. We talked about the men's Final Four. There's just one game that we need to discuss, and that's NC State, South Carolina. They whooped their ass. South Carolina is a bunch of dogs. Those girls are incredible. Yeah. And they play like a team. It's not just one person scoring. No, they have the whole team playing well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of where you get some of these, like, that's kind of goes back to the UConn and Iowa thing. For whatever reason, this NC State team, they were giving me good vibes, and they show up against South Carolina, and it's just like South Carolina just turned it on. And when that happened, I mean, you could tell, like, from the very beginning, like, something was different. Like, it was a different feeling game. It felt different.
I agree. Now, the championship for that is tomorrow at 7:00. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Excuse me. Oh, it's early. That's weird. Well, I'm glad it is, because WrestleMania, the main event's that night, so I get to watch.
They probably didn't want to. Yeah, they probably didn't
want to compete with that. Yeah, for sure. So it's tomorrow at 2, Iowa versus South Carolina. I am picking South Carolina. Nick, give me your pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna take South Carolina here.
Yeah, it's just like, look, I think Caitlin Clark's teammates had a great
they're on
game.
Fire right now.
I think Caitlin Clark's teammate had that thing where they played their championship was against UConn, and I'm pretty sure you said that if they beat UConn, you said that you felt that the teammates were probably going to play their best game of their lives that game, and I don't know if they can do that 2 times in a row. You know what I'm saying? If Iowa's going to win, Caitlin Clark's going to have to drop 50 to 40 points, which is crazy to say, but she can do it. But South Carolina just plays too good a defense, in my opinion, and Dawn Staley is the best coach in women's basketball. It's her and Kim Mulkey and Gino Auriemma. Those 3 are interchangeable, whichever one you want to say is one. Dawn Staley has her players believing in her to another level. They play defense. Like, that's a gritty ass team. So I'm picking South Carolina to win. The men's, like we said, they play today while you're right after we drop this. They play at 5 and 7. I picked NC State to win. Nick, you picked NC State as well. Let's pick Alabama. Let's pick Alabama, UConn. Who you got winning?
I said UConn originally.
Yeah, we said UConn earlier in the week.
Alabama is different, they're playing like
that's what I told you.
They're playing lights out, man.
They live and die by the 3. That's the scary thing.
The Shaq. I wasn't familiar with your game. Like, that's me right now. I was not familiar with the game.
We're both picking Bama.
Yeah, I gotta pick Bama.
Yeah,
I gotta pick Bama. And then when we get to the championship, I mean, I don't know. That's NC State. If NC State makes it out of that semifinal game, I mean,
it's gonna be hard to beat them with their momentum. Hard, and the thing is,
the momentum, the Cinderella story.
Alabama plays this live and die by the 3. If they are able to overcome UConn,
they just haven't died by it yet.
I can't bet that they're, the odds, the percentages are that they will die by the 3 at some point.
Yeah, at some point it has to go down.
That reminds me of the Orlando Magic when they played the Lakers in the NBA Finals with Dwight Howard, Guido Turkoglu, Jameer Nelson, Michael Petrus. When that team was coming up, they were making 3s the entire series. And I remember my dad said my grandpa said early in the series that teams live and die by the 3. And Charles Barkley, literally when they made it to the finals, right after the Eastern Conference Championship, he echoed my grandpa's sentiments of, this team is good. They make a lot of 3s, but they haven't died by it yet. And when they do, it's going to hit them like a train of bricks.
Yeah.
If Bama wins this, I see NC State winning the championship. I'm picking NC State to win, but I do think Bama makes it. So that is our men's March Madness and women's March Madness discussion. Let's jump into the NFL. Nick, real quick before we get to the major news, how did you feel about the Saints pickup of the linebacker?
The Saints what?
The Saints picked up a linebacker.
The Saints. Oh, I don't know why you said. I thought you said picka.
Oh
like
no,
like a draft pick or something. I was like, what are you talking
The Saints
about?
picked up a linebacker.
I didn't see
Picked
this
up
news. Did this happen yesterday?
yes, I
I have
believe
had
so.
it for those who want to flame me right now. I've had a crazy week of work, so you can get on my back.
Hold on, I'll tell you exactly. Can you pull up the name? Because I'm looking through
I'm
Rappaport's
looking for it
thing
right now.
to make sure that
Oh yeah, of course.
we have all the news in there because there was a lot of news that happened. Hold on, let me see.
Khalid Hudson.
Yeah, Khalid Hudson, and he has a rapport with Chase Young.
Yes, this is a former commander, University of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this
Are
is a
you
guy.
excited about this, or does this not move the needle?
This is a depth pick. It's a depth pickup. It looks like. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with bringing guys in, especially not right now. You got to kind of build up everything, but yeah, I mean, I don't.
This is not that big of a deal.
Not that exciting.
Yeah, for sure. All right. We have two more NFL things. We'll look at a mock draft, but first, actually, first, look, I don't know what's up with these young NFL players.
Before we get there,
oh, go ahead.
The pickup that does move the needle for me is Charlie Smythe at kicker.
Oh, is that what the Saints?
I was looking for his name.
Is that
Charlie
guy
Smythe,
good?
Gaelic football goalkeeper from the International Player Pathway Program.
Oh my gosh, he's a goalie.
He was a goalie, yeah. This is a cat that like plus 60, nothing.
Oh shit! So
yeah.
we're done with oh boy.
Yeah, not Gillikin's the punter. What's his name?
Yeah, I was about to say Garrett Huntley, but that's
I'm
so far away.
Dude, you're behind. It's the short kid, the kid that looked like a 19-year-old.
I know. I'm looking at him. I can't. I'm about
the fact that I can't remember his name is a problem. That's like
he used to be good, but
I mean, he used to be.
It's not Will Lutz because we got rid of Will Lutz for this guy. Holy shit, who is the Saints kicker right now? Oh, Blake Grupe. Yeah,
Grupe. That's it.
You think Grupe's done?
If I think Grupe's. I mean, they brought Smythe in for the competition, but he missed too many high leverage kicks.
Yeah, he did, and like he barely beat out Will Lutz. He barely beat out Will Lutz, and everybody was like, "Let's go with the young guy." I think the Saints are like, no, we got to find us a new young kicker that can make it from not only the 50s and the 60s, but doesn't miss any of the easy 40s.
He doesn't miss any of the easy stuff. Yeah, and that's what
his problem was
to compete during the
killed during the long kicks, but it was always the short, easy things. I was like, bro, why are you?
That's the stuff where you get in your head.
Yeah, true. It showed it was very much mental with him. Now, before I get to the mock draft stuff in the major news, I got to say, Nick, some of these NFL players, what are they doing? Rashee Rice, you had the world in your hand. You were about to be Patrick Mahomes, if not number one, number two wide receiver. You were going to be the gadget guy.
You were going to be, man.
Like
people are flying too close to the sun. You think you're invincible, and you willing to do stuff that like not, man. Like
and then the dude, not only was it drunk driving, he had like so much weed in his car. Like
it was a rented car. It was a rented car.
He can end up going to jail for life. Like that's the crazy thing.
Like the funny side of this is like that old Top Gear quote that Jeremy Clarkson said: "What's the fastest car in the world is a rental car because you can drive it because you don't give a shit." But like the context of like. It's not like you rented a Lamborghini and then went off on a back road and flew around
basically
you're doing this in a
rented Lamborghini too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So his lawyer said, I want to say on behalf of Mr. Rice that he has fully cooperated with the Dallas Police Department. We will continue to cooperate with them regarding this particular accident. So basically, he had 10.8 grams of marijuana in the trunk, which isn't for weed. For people that don't understand weed, that's not a lot of weed. That's a little bit more than a quarter of an ounce. That's not even a half an ounce. So in terms of the weed, that was probably smokable for himself.
That would be, I was going to say that's a personal amount.
That's a personal amount. Exactly. So the weed is the problem. The problem is the multiple level crash. Was it a DUI? Because I'm trying to see.
I don't think he was drunk. I think he was just racing.
Okay, so racing. Boom. That's what I was making sure that I wasn't.
Because that's my thing. That's where I say is he's just stupid. Like there's a stupid decision.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay,
like
so
I'm not quite as like. This is not a rug situation to me.
You know what I'm saying? It's not. I'm seeing this.
This is not that serious. This is definitely more closer to something like when Olave got over last
so
year.
he won't be done with his NFL.
He's not
so
done
I thought
forever.
it was a DUI.
He's gonna pay a hefty fine. He's gonna get some bad PR for a few months, and then
he's okay. Okay, cool. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Rashid,
but
still not right.
A bad decision.
Still a bad decision to be driving your Lamborghini over 100 miles an hour.
If you're gonna rent a Lamborghini and you want to drive it fast,
go to a track.
Or go to a back road if you're really insistent on doing it illegally.
There's legitimate tracks where you can go and drive.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So do that, man. Like I don't even want to say the back road, Nick, because of curves. You know how some back roads have those small
of course.
Yeah. These guys, I don't even trust them to handle the curve.
I mean, you're a football player, not an F1 driver.
So go to a track and get that experience. Don't do this
or buy a sim.
Yeah, facts.
My point. Buy a sim. They're way cheaper.
Because it was a multi-car crash and you could have killed someone. And
these guys could probably afford to build like a really cool simulator with like the full intense like immersion stuff.
Luckily, no one died or anything.
Yeah, I know. Very lucky that no one was hurt.
To Nick's point, he will be okay. And the weed stuff, don't worry about that. Was literally his personal stash. It's not like he was a dealer or something crazy or had a DUI. So again, my apologies to Rashid. I thought it was that, but it wasn't. So okay, we can move on to the other major news before we get to the mock draft. Look, Stefon Diggs to Houston. Our prediction of Houston came through so well.
Do you know what sucks?
Right after the episode. If you didn't take the odds when Nick told you, it was over.
Well, what sucks is after the episode came out, I checked the odds. They had gone down by like 200 points.
So that's like, when you take it.
Like I should have taken it when I said it, not when the episode released. But I was gonna
but that should have showed.
I was gonna take the odds, post the bet slip as the like quote tweeting the episode. It was gonna be a whole thing, and then I saw the odds and I was like, they're still good, but they're not nearly as good.
But that showed that Vegas might have got some word that something was about to happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because they're to your point, it was plus 2,000. When you saw it, it was probably like plus 1,000.
It was 1,400, I think.
So boom, they knew something was coming. Now I bet the odds are like plus 5, plus 6, something super under. So you can check real quick if you want.
Yeah, let me see if I can get it on my phone.
Yeah. While you look. That's a big move for them, bro.
Huge.
That legitimately makes them, in my opinion, the ultimate second team to legitimately contend against the Chiefs. Yeah, they are legitimately the best contender to beat the Chiefs. And we were always saying Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, which will be the new Tom Brady, Peyton Manning rivalry. I think it might end up being Patrick Mahomes, CJ Stroud because of what has happened. Like,
okay, the Texans are down to 1,500 as of today.
Oh, okay, so still solid.
It's still pretty good. But I mean, mind you, this is because this early in the season, it's always
this is pre-draft.
The odds on favorite is the 49ers at 500. Chiefs at 650. Chiefs at 650. Ravens at 900. Cowboys at 1,300.
Yeah, it's just cowboy love.
They always get glazed by the betting.
And then Houston, nice. That's good.
No. Detroit and then
Buffalo.
That doesn't make any sense to me at all. I wouldn't take Buffalo if you paid me.
Yeah, no way. But to me, I was about to say in the rankings, it goes.
But the Texans are above the Bengals. They're above the Eagles.
I was about to say in the AFC, I would say the Chiefs are 1. I would say the Texans are 2.
And then the Ravens are 3.
And then I'd probably go Bengals 4, Miami 5. Buffalo is not in the top 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they lost a lot.
I think Miami is going to be good because they picked up more speed and they picked up more defense to help them.
I love
their identity. It's
teams.
Speed
just
and defense,
fast
bro.
And punishing.
Yeah, facts. So I got them at 5, and I got the Bengals at 4. I think Joe Burrow healthy in that team. We know what they can do. So, but to me, the Texans, the Ravens, those two teams, that's number 2 and 3, Bengals 4, Miami 5. I think Houston has a legitimate shot now. Now you gave CJ Stroud a true number 1 wide receiver. It allows Tank Dell to grow and not have to worry about being his top target.
What's the other dude?
Oh man, he's good too.
Nico Collins.
Yeah, Nico Collins and Tank Dell can be the solid secondary and third.
Second and third option.
which it's two of the best to have at your second and third option.
I would say at this point the Texans probably have the best receiving core in the league.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that. Especially with the Bengals losing some of their people. They just have. I'm pretty sure T. Higgins is franchise tag, but they lost Boyd. Or it's the other way around. Boyd's still there, and Higgins left.
One of the two.
One of it is. So they lost their wide receiver core. I would say the Vikings with Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson is a good 2-man, but they don't have a third person in there. So whereas the Texans have the third, the Rams have Puka and Cooper Kupp, but they don't have a third. The
Cooper Kupp kind of fell off too.
True. The 49ers have Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and Ayuk. I would say
Kittle doesn't count. He's a tight end.
We're not counting it. I'm counting pass.
I'm not counting it.
Okay, so I'm saying best strictly receivers. Wide receivers.
Because if you want to say best weapons, then yeah,
I was gonna say pass catching. Yeah. I'm saying, but I mean, best weapon because the Eagles are up there too. The Eagles have.
If you ask me what the Texans need on offense at this point, I would say running back.
Yeah, I agree. They do need and I think that's what they might draft. Honestly,
yeah,
because they don't have a legitimate solid back. And honestly, if they could get a tight end, that would be great too. Like, imagine if Brock Bowers falls to
that's my thing. They want a big athletic tight end, like a Jimmy Graham type. They don't need someone who's like quicker and a little more shifty. They need a big, tough guy who can go up and handle, big like
this though. On the Bills tip, because we'll get back to the Texans when we look at the mock draft. On the Bills tip, it's just like it just showed Stefon Diggs was more committed to the grind than Josh Allen. Josh Allen, I know you remember when we talked about the rumors about how Stefon Diggs was mad that Josh Allen was more focused on cheating on his wife at the time with Haley Steinfeld and more concerned about his relationship than the playoffs, and that started the beef. And Josh Allen never beat those allegations because he would play great all season. But the moment the playoffs came, something happened to where he just couldn't do it. And whether that's in his personal life or just he had the yips, Stefon Diggs was right in this situation. I'm going to say it. He was not a diva. He just wanted to win and wanted everyone to be locked in. That's crazy. You trade a wide receiver of his caliber because all he wanted to do was win. You backed your quarterback. We'll see if that works.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
They have a lot to do.
The Bills legitimately went from one of the best contenders and potentially best futures to now it's like it's looking rough because now y'all don't have Gabe Davis, y'all don't have Stefon Diggs, and you don't have a running back. All you got is Josh Allen.
And Khalil Shakir.
All right, let's look at the mock draft to see if anything changed. We're looking at not ESPN, NFL Network's mock draft. It dropped literally 23 hours ago. Caleb Williams at number 1. I think we expect that.
Absolutely.
Jaden Daniels, number 2 at the Commanders. Is that what you expect to happen as well?
No, that's kind of a surprising step up. I am glad, but I do think that that's a little surprising.
I will say in response to that, Drake May has been visiting the Patriots. He's been with the Patriots a lot.
Interesting.
And NFL Network has Drake May going to the Patriots. Is that a mistake for the Patriots? Is this just drafting Mac Jones again?
I don't know. I think he's better than
JJ McCarthy.
Oh, he's
because people were trying to say JJ McCarthy should go to the Patriots.
There's a lot of things being said about JJ McCarthy right now, and I believe a little bit of that hype because if you
so you're in it.
If you listen to some of the stuff they say about how he was managing that team, and he was managing that team in the playoffs, the college football playoffs, that's a skill set that it translates really well to the NFL.
If you can be
able to be a leader, being a game
nothing wrong with being a game manager. Brock Purdy's won and he took his team to the Super Bowl.
And he very easily could be, it's easier to grow
a game manager.
You can get a strong arm. Right. Yeah. You can turn a game manager into a strong arm. You can turn a game manager into a great improviser. It
might not work, but you can.
But you can at least try to develop that. And in the meantime, you will still win games.
Yeah, because he can dink and dunk. He will make the accurate, smart
decision. He'll make the smart choice. He'll make the right ball in the right spot. He won't make stupid decisions. He won't try and push the ball when he doesn't need to.
My only thing is, I think that, and shout out to Chris Sims, the quarterback guy, for NBC Sports, he kind of agrees with me with this take. I think if you're gonna go to JJ McCarthy, you might as well take Michael Penix, because I think Michael Penix is better than both Drake May and JJ McCarthy. I think Michael Penix is being underrated right now, and whatever quarterback lands him, you're not only getting a huge arm. Michael Penix has the accuracy shit of one of the best accurate balls in the whole draft.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I think Penix definitely has the accuracy on his side.
Yeah, he's the top. He's the most accurate quarterback in the.
I'll
He's
say
underrated
this.
as hell, Nick.
I'll say this. I think one of these
is gonna bust.
One of these quarterbacks is gonna bust, and one of these quarterbacks is gonna be the next great one. And
I hope it's Jaden Daniels, but I don't know, man.
I think easily Jaden Daniels. I don't think Jaden Daniels is gonna be a bust. I think Jaden Daniels is easily gonna be. Like, he almost guaranteed has a lockdown, like, solid starter, mobile guy, good.
But will he be one of the best? I don't know.
That's going to be up to his development.
But you're saying his talk about a guy is just a solid NFL starter,
and that's what I'm saying. I think that's why I'm up on a guy like Jaden Daniels or a guy like JJ McCarthy, because I think both of them have really good floors.
Okay.
I don't necessarily know if their ceilings are as high as a guy like Caleb Williams or a guy like Drake May, but I think those two guys' floors are much, much, much lower.
Yeah, I definitely think Caleb Williams and Drake May are the boomer bust of the NFL.
Absolutely. And you know how I feel about it. I think Caleb Williams is a bust in the making.
Yeah,
and it has nothing to do with
the
necessarily
stuff.
anything
Yeah, you're talking
of the
about
off the field stuff. No, I mean, do I like the kind of way he's trying to go about getting attention off the field by being purposefully inflammatory and stuff?
No.
if he was like a cornerback or a wide receiver, I'd say yeah, I'm all for it. But quarterbacks kind of have to have a different
mentality.
Yeah, you got to be able to step up a little bit, and it has nothing to do with anything like that he's doing particularly. It's the way he's handling himself.
Gotcha. See, I think the bust for me. I think Caleb's gonna be a boom. I think Jaden, we don't know about the floor. I think Drake May actually will be either a backup or a solid starter. He could be I'm picking my bust to be McCarthy. It's just something about him.
That's fair.
It's either or I would say Bo Nix. If you take Bo Nix, you wildin'.
Oh yeah. I think Bo Nix is the Josh Rosen.
Yeah. Oh man, poor Josh Rosen.
Don't say poor Josh Rosen. He put himself.
He kind of got a short end of the stick though, Nick. He went to.
There were 5 mistakes made before me. Really?
He went to Arizona, and then they literally didn't even give him a chance, changed the coach and everything, and took Kyler Murray. And then the guy got
5 mistakes made before me. I want you to remember that.
He got bounced. I know he said that, but they got bounced around all around the league and never got a real shot. He never got a real chance, in my opinion.
I feel like there's a reason for that.
That's fair. All right, well, next pick, we got J.J. McCarthy to the Broncos as the Broncos make a trade with Arizona. We know Sean Payton wants a quarterback. I don't think he's going to make the same mistake twice that he made with Patrick Mahomes. Now, is J.J. McCarthy that guy? That's left to be seen. Number 5, we got Marvin Harrison Jr. Oh, my goodness. If the Chargers were able to get Marvin Harrison Jr., that would give Justin Herbert his guy.
That punches Justin Herbert up a few rungs.
Yeah, and they need it because they lost Keenan Allen and they lost Mike Williams.
Mike Williams, yep.
They need a star. So, all right, they got the Giants taking Malik Neighbors, the Titans taking Joe Alt, the Cardinals from that trade getting Roma Dunze, which the Cardinals definitely need. Yeah. The Chicago Bears, they said they're going to go defense with the next pick. Dallas Turner. Yep. Yeah. To me though, I don't know if
Dallas Turner's the right pick there, but
I'll say this: if Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison are gone, then you go defense. I still would want them to take Brock Bowers. I don't know why Bowers is falling so much right now, but
I still think he's a bit undervalued as a receiver.
Who, Bowers?
I think it's very easy to say that he bullied all those guys in college, but kind of underestimate.
That guy's a superstar, bro.
Well, that's the thing is I think a lot of scouts are saying, yeah, he bullied the guys around in college, but it's a different speed in the NFL.
Yeah, and he's not going
to be able to be as he's not going to be able to just be physically bigger and stronger than everybody else because everybody's that strong.
I think they're discrediting his ability.
Well, more than anything, I think they're discrediting the SEC and the guys.
Yeah. I agree, which
he
is
was
dumb.
playing against NFL caliber talent the whole damn time. He's playing in the
entire
SEC.
time. Yeah,
the best football conference in the country. I mean.
Which is dumb. But they do have the Jets taking him at number 10, which that'd be great for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, well, if Aaron Rodgers isn't a vice president by then.
Stop it. At Minnesota, we got them taking Byron Murphy, the second defensive tackle.
Sure.
At the Falcons,
perfectly boring for
Vikings. You have the Falcons taking Jared Verse, Florida State edge rusher. He has the Raiders taking J.C. Latham, and then the Saints taking Olam. You know his name. Say
Olamuke. Yeah, Olamuke, the guy.
Fashanu. Yeah.
Fashanu.
Yeah. So they have him taking that. We don't need to go through the rest of it because we were trying to get to the Saints. I will say the Chiefs, they do project that the Chiefs trade up to 17 and take Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy is the guy that they want. Yeah. They want him to be their new Tyreek Hill gadget guy because that you can't teach speed. There's certain things you can teach.
No. You can
increase 240.
You can increase strength and you can get a guy
teach down route running. Yeah, you
can get a guy down to like 4.8, 4.7 if he's slow. But you can't get once you get to like 4.5, that's gifted speed. That's not
facts. And
4.2 speed.
That's the fastest you can be. 4.240.
Yeah, I mean, we've never seen humans run faster than that.
So this guy, if Patrick Mahomes can get him, that brings him to a new level because he learned how to dink and dunk. He learned how to game manage because when he lost Tyreek Hill, he had to do that. But now you bring Xavier Worthy there with Rashee Rice, with Valdez Scantling, with Travis Kelce, and I do believe they might cut Valdez Scantling to get Michael Thomas. I do believe Michael Thomas may end up being a Chief. And if they have Michael Thomas, Rashee Rice, and Xavier Worthy with Travis Kelce, that's the best pass catching. That's the best. I know we talked about the Texans
with Pacheco in the backfield, mind you.
That's the best.
And still having Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who I think is very undervalued as a backup running back.
The Chiefs then, sorry, Houston, they're back.
Yeah, they're back, yeah.
But the Bengals, and I think this is important because I'm excited about this pick as well. They have the Bengals taking Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU. If you add Brian Thomas with Jamar Chase plus whichever wide receiver they have left in the third, they're right back to top wide receiver core. Because I think Brian Thomas is underrated. I think Brian Thomas, to me, I think the best receiver in this group, I know people talk about Marvin Harrison Jr., but what Malik Neighbors can do, I think what Malik Neighbors had to do in the SEC, to Nick's point about the SEC being talented, the way he broke free and got space, you can't teach that. That kid is special. Dude,
we always talk about LSU being DBU, the
their
best
wide
defensive backs.
Damn near.
Well, I mean, who do the wide receivers go up against in practice?
The
best defensive backs in America.
You're right. So you've
got to be able to be built different to get past those guys.
I go Malik Neighbors 1. I'll put Marvin Harrison Jr. second. But I got Brian Thomas Jr. third over Roma Dunze. Just for the fact of who Brian Thomas went against each week and how special he was. He was one of the reasons why Jaden Daniels won that Heisman, because Brian Thomas killed. So those are the only really. Do you have a team that I haven't mentioned that you're interested in who they take? If not, we'll finish up the draft coverage right here.
I mean, who are the Panthers getting again?
Okay, so the Panthers don't have a first-round pick.
That's right. They traded it.
Yep.
Oh, wait. That's right. They traded it.
And got Bryce Young.
Yeah, Bryce Young. Sorry. I just wanted to smoke the Panthers.
Fucking dummies.
What about the Bucks?
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Probably something boring because the
Bucks are down here. They have pick 26. They get who other people projected we get because Fashanu were going to be gone. They took Fatananu.
Fatananu. Yeah.
Okay. Troy. Yep. So they need to build their offensive line with Baker. So
an appropriately boring pick, I think, for where they're at. Yeah. So I mean, I'm so scared of Atlanta with Kirk Cousins.
I'm scared of both Atlanta and Tampa. I think Baker figured it out, and I think with Mike Evans, Mike Evans knows the type. Like, he worked with Johnny Manziel. Him and Johnny Manziel were successful for a reason. I think Baker has that in him, and I think
it's the attitude.
Yeah, it is.
It's the at the risk.
Mike Evans knows that Baker is not afraid to throw a ball in double coverage to him.
Yeah,
Johnny did the same thing.
It's a
It's
little
that
bit
white boy swagger, bro.
I didn't want to say it, but that was exactly what I was thinking. A little bit of white boy attitude.
That's that white boy swagger, the gunslinger mentality.
And the gunslinger, it's the gunslinger mentality. Same thing Aaron Rodgers had.
I could say Patrick Mahomes has a little bit of the gunslinger mentality.
About half of it, right?
Yeah. That's funny. But to that, and what the gunslinger mentality is, because you don't have to be just white to have it. You can be black to have it. Yeah,
no,
but
I think honestly Lamar has a little bit of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Game. Because Lamar will do that thing where he'll run and he'll just hook the ball purely from the elbow, and you're like, how the hell does he make that throw?
And Mike Evans is a tall receiver that can jump super high, and some quarterbacks don't take the shot of throwing it up there and saying,
Evans is a guy you gotta trust. You trust him in those jump ball situations.
And Johnny trusted him fully.
Same way, you got a lot of wide receivers in the league who can do that kind of thing.
And Mike Evans is one of the best at it. And the thing is, Johnny Manziel trusted him fully, and now he has Baker Mayfield who trusts him fully.
I'm with you on the thing with Baker Mayfield. I think he's primed for an absolute
just demolishing. Yeah. I think he's gonna be back to who we thought he was.
I don't like it. I like Baker, but
I like Baker as but as a Saints fan, it's not good. But
not good.
I predicted Baker was going to be the best quarterback from that
draft.
And
as a Mike Evans hater,
it's not good. So I want Baker to succeed, me personally, because I hated how he fell off, and I think he deserves it. So, but
he got screwed over in Cleveland and screwed over in Carolina. So.
All right, really quickly, let's do because I'm gonna just update it now. No point to do a review of a game because I realize the Pelicans play again tomorrow. So really quickly, the Pelicans when we started doing this, they were hot. They have fallen to number 7. They're 45-32. The Mavericks are 47-30. The Suns are 46-31, and the Clippers are 49-28. It is capable for them to get back to where they were, but I think what this shows more so than anything, the Brandon Ingram injury really fucked them over right now. I think Brandon Ingram, for all the people who were hating on Brandon, saying that, we could replace him with a center who can shoot like Karl Anthony Towns, or we can replace him with this. No, that's fucking stupid, because just because you don't like that Brandon takes mid-range, so what? They need that offense, because when he's not there, they lock in on Zion, and Zion's not ready for the triple teams. He's just not.
Well,
he doesn't have a jump shot yet. Yeah, but that's the thing. They triple team him in the paint, Nick. They allow him. They give him the space to shoot.
Of course.
He doesn't have the jumper yet. Zion needs the jumper.
Those tweet photos we talked about very briefly in the last episode, where it's like 4 guys are in the paint. What are they gonna? Oh yeah,
they have no one to guard. Yeah. I also blame the fact is, if they're clogging the paint, then CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy, y'all need to step up.
Gotta hit shots.
And granted, CJ McCollum had 31 points against the Spurs. Trey Murphy had 16. Zion didn't play because that was them making sure he was okay from the back-to-back. So maybe that affects it. But even without Zion, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Jonas, CJ, they should be able to beat the Spurs. The Spurs just have Wemby. What the fuck are we doing? So that is a bad loss. But I'm not ready to come here and just shit on the Pelicans yet. Because like I said, I do believe that losing Brandon Ingram was huge. So I think against the Suns, the Trailblazers, the Kings, the Warriors, and the Lakers, I believe the Pelicans will win at least 3 out of the next 5. I would like them to go 4-1. But if they go 3 out of the next 5, it will be okay, and they won't make the play-in. I truly believe that. They will not make the play-in, but it sucks that they're going to be 6th or 7th for when they could have been 4th.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But as long as Brandon's healthy in the playoffs, I think what better story than the Pelicans, that underdog team, winning from behind in the playoffs.
Hey, who knows?
So that's what I'm looking forward to. But all right, Nick, what you got?
Real quick,
go ahead.
Real quick, combat sports.
Oh, okay.
Did you hear what happened with John Jones this morning?
Oh no! Please tell me nothing bad. Don't tell me the guy got arrested or something.
Not arrested, but apparently UFC heavyweight, and I'm reading this is directly from a tweet. UFC heavyweight champion John Jones has threatened a drug tester's life.
Oh my goodness.
The Drug Free Sport International's agent has reported to the police that Jones was intoxicated and threatened him/her while trying to obtain a sample for testing. So
Jesus Christ.
John Jones said, "You want to come get a drug test from me? I will kill you." Basically.
Jeez.
Not great. Obviously,
that's horrible.
This gives John Jones haters a lot of ammunition that they probably didn't need. I mean, look, I am very well documented on my opinions on John Jones and performance enhancing drugs and all those kinds of things that are involved in his story.
My thing is, it's a horrible look because I'm a John Jones defender, as he's the best fighter ever in the UFC, and it's like, brother, by doing this, it just denigrates your legacy even more than it already was
as well.
Yeah,
it hurts the sport.
It does. But see that Dana White allows that type of shit.
This your GOAT? Like, this is your GOAT?
See, let me not to defend John Jones, but this is to just slander Dana because John's not the first person to do this. Conor McGregor just did this. They left USADA for Conor McGregor, bro. Like, that just goes to show what Dana condones. So it's all around the board that if Conor can do it, John feels he can do it. It's both wrong. It's all wrong.
They're both wrong.
Like,
it's at the end of the day, it does. Attitude reflects leadership. Remember the Titans? That's what I'm saying. Like, poor leadership. And I mean, this is supposed to be the guy that when a young kid is watching your sport for the first time, they go and look up the greats, and the greats they'll see is Conor McGregor and John Jones, and not Michael Jordan and LeBron, or Tom Brady and Joe Montana, or Nolan Ryan and Randy Johnson. And
no, you're right.
Baseball has all the steroid era stuff.
They do, but they have stuff pre.
But even steroid era stuff, it was just dudes juicing to try and hit the ball farther.
Yeah, in UFC, it's like they're juicing to win fights.
So I can kill this guy, and if you come and try and get me for juicing, I'll kill you too.
And you're right. Like, the best two names of the sport is Conor McGregor and John Jones. Like,
John Jones, who's getting involved in all this crap and all the other stuff that.
And then Conor McGregor, Conor
McGregor
attempted on a man's life,
hitting the slopes, and filming a Roadhouse.
He is a sloper. He's
doing
breaking Khabib's bust, being anti-Muslim. Like, that dude was wild.
Doing press junkets for his movie while tweaking. Like, it's just a bad look. No, and then you got guys like Cormier, and
who's a good dude, and Poirier, good dude,
Wonder Boy.
Good dude. Justin Gagey. Even Rampage Jackson from the past. Guy was a good Israel Adesanya.
He's a little weird, but I
like the anime
Alex
weirdness.
Pereira,
nothing's wrong with like that guy. Even in the guy that was the best morally and the best person in the UFC before he left, Ngannou was a perfect leader.
Was an absolute
He fought for fighters' rights, and Dana White was like, "No, you're out of here, brother." And it's like, that guy should be the face of the UFC, but we chose John Jones.
And I mean, they got some young fighters. Like Sugar Sean is a really good example of like a young fighter that's kind of doing things the right way.
Yeah, he's not a bad. He just talks shit.
Still loud and brash, but
nothing wrong with that.
That's fighting. Like, that's what that is.
I like Aljamain. Aljamain's a good dude.
Yeah.
I'm a big Aljamain fan. So to your point, there are good fighters coming up, but it's just like right now, the faces, John Jones and Conor McGregor.
Yeah, and we gotta move on from that. I mean, we kind of forget how young as a sport UFC still is.
Yeah, true.
Because of how quickly it rose and how fast it became a very popular thing. But I mean, it was only 20 years ago or so where you still had sumo dudes fighting boxers and guys in gis fighting Brazilian kickboxers.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Like, it was a wild place for a while, and we're only just now getting to a point where, you look back on those guys like GSP and all the progenitors of this modern era of fighters. And you can kind of start to see where people are coming from, where things went wrong and where things are right. So
no, 100%. All right, Nick, give us the baseball talk. Nick's baseball corner.
So I mean, obviously, as we sit here, I'm gonna time and date this video. It's 1:43 p.m.
And people will be able to hear this
in about 15 minutes.
Okay, because I was about to say people will be able to hear this by like no later than 3:00.
Right. So by the time this comes out, it'll be like middle of the baseball game on the Saturday game. Obviously, the Friday game was a win, 13 straight for UL baseball.
Who are they playing? Who's the team they're
This
playing?
is UL Monroe. It's the
Okay,
Warhawks.
nice. Oh, so they should
I am
win
not
this weekend.
too worried about this series. They should definitely take the series. They should. I don't want to jinx anything, but
and say they go undefeated in the series. Yeah, I feel
you're right. But I mean, I think if you drop one to ULM, it's not nothing. It's,
crazy.
You lose the win streak, but that sucks. But like, move on. As long as they don't lose this series, I mean, because that would be a momentum stopper. That would be a brick wall in your way. But with the way that they've been playing, the way they've been hitting the ball, the way their pitching has been phenomenal. And I swear, this is the best pitching rotation since I've been watching the team. In my
opinion.
Langevin, Martinez, all these guys on coming out of the bullpen and starting games, they're all lethal. They can all get one by you. Every single one of them, and then they got probably one of the best fielding units.
Sounds like
the Sun Belt behind them.
Sounds like Diggs did not want to do what happened last year with dealing with up and down pitching. That guy went and got the best.
Yeah, and I mean the injuries last year were also a big issue. And let's knock on wood that doesn't happen again. But I mean, you've got guys. I mean, seriously good pitchers back there, and Diggs is still And I put a lot of I'm trying to think of the word. Like
forgetting the word.
The props. I'm trying to get props to.
Trying to get Diggs the credit.
Well, not just Diggs, but the pitching staff, the coach.
The new pitching coaching.
Gunnar Leger, and all those guys. I mean, they are absolutely
true. That former UL stud, of course, he would know about pitching. Yeah.
And so I mean, Diggs' small ball is still working. It's never gonna not work, and you can still got guys that you can absolutely blast one to the soccer field.
Hell yeah.
Who have been to Russo Park now. And also, I saw the Moon Griffon show did it, Ragin Review did it. I want to shout out the Ragin Burners because they have been following this whole thing ever since Southern took down LSU.
They have been
making the Twitter experience so good for me because the trees at the Teague and is it Dat Meggs? I don't know. It's like a Matt Deggs. Camo, UCP Camo, all those guys have been making it so fun. They've been really like out there gassing boys and smoking some LSU fans. So it's been great. It's a really good Twitter discourse right now. The team's hot. This reminds me of when UL basketball was hot a couple years back.
Okay.
Right, and they got really hot. They won the Sun Belt. I was
about to say, do you think Ragin Cajun baseball? Do you think they'll win the Sun Belt? And is this team prime to make the college?
As good a chance as they have in a while.
Do you think this is the team that makes it to the College World Series and maybe makes a run?
I mean, make a run, we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of really good college baseball being played this year.
Okay,
and I think the biggest thing is you got to get past Coastal.
True.
Coastal is such a powerhouse of a team in college baseball, and they have.
But if they do that shows that
if you get past Coastal, I was gonna say if you get past Coastal and win the Sun Belt, I think that proves that you can take on these guys in the College World Series. And I mean, at least they've already played Vandy and LSU and like some of these top dogs. Yeah, they lost, but they didn't get blown out. They didn't get beat to crap, and this was all early in the season. So I mean, you got these guys. If they get on a little streak and they get a little hot here. I don't expect this win streak to last much longer. I hope it lasts through the weekend, but at some point you're going to drop a game.
Yeah, facts. It's baseball.
Yeah, exactly. It's baseball. I mean, it's the great quote from Robe is like, you win a third and you lose a third. It's what happens in that final third is what decides your season. And right now they're kicking that final third's ass.
Nice.
So let's hope that they keep that up. And I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, you got to do, you really got to give it your best. You got to give it your all. And once they get to the Sun Belt Conference tournament, that's when we'll kind of see what this team is made of. Hoping they stay healthy that long. They really have. And to his credit, Diggs is doing an awesome job of rotating guys in and out, getting everybody a little bit of time in so they can get their bats warm, kind of get their arms warm for the pitchers. I don't think I've seen a single player that can't contribute to this team that's been on the field yet. So every single one of them has something to contribute. In different ways, and it's a really dynamic and balanced team. So I mean, I have high hopes for this season.
Hell yeah! So that was Nick's baseball corner. We will review the games on the early week episode next week. And Nick, I'm gonna give you a challenge for next Friday. I want a list of the top 5 players on UL's team that make a difference for them to make it to the College World Series.
Heard that.
I want the 5 of them. And then on top of that,
that's going to be a tough 5, by the way.
I know. Well, that's a good thing.
They got a lot of good players.
And then I also could, in preparation for the Sun Belt tournament, We need 5 teams from the Sun Belt that UL fans need to educate themselves on because these teams are dangerous.
Oh, I could give you 2 or 3 right now before.
We'll save it for next week.
All right.
That'll be good content.
I already said Coastal, so I'll give you that one for free. Coastal is one.
We'll do the teams on Tuesday and the players for the Thursday episode. So
perfect.
All right, hell yeah. That's pretty much our episode for today. Look, if you're listening to this, WrestleMania is tonight and Sunday. We put out our prediction episode on YouTube and wherever you get your audio. Check out our WrestleMania predictions if you want to make bets, because right now, Nick, my record in predicting wrestling in both companies this year, 9-2. I'm 9-2 in my wrestling predictions right now.
Where's the money going, Lyn?
That's what I'm saying. So we need the people to follow us on there. Check that out. Also, make sure you check out Vagabond Sports. And with that, Nick, tell them where they can follow you at on social media.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at ShareIt'sMe, CHERITSME. If you're looking for sports writing stuff, you can find it at Vagabond Sports, at Vagabond Sports. And the WordPress link is all in there. And if you're interested in video games and any of that kind of stuff, you can find me also on Twitter at Revenant Rogue. And that's all my gaming stuff and nerd culture and whatnot.
And for all those links, remember, they will be in the description of the YouTube video or the Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening to this podcast. Like I said, put in your comments if you want to be a part of the Crew Love section every Friday. If you have a question on which team's going to win the NBA Finals, if you have a football question, baseball question, whatever it is, or you just want to leave comments that you want read on the show, whatever it is, email us at BrosWhoThink@outlook.com. or comment on whatever video you're listening to and leave a comment, or tweet at Nick or tweet at myself at LynBWT, and make sure you follow the Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think. Subscribe to the YouTube and the audio because we have so much content coming out now. The plan is here. We are in what we pitched to you in January. We are finally here. So embrace it, love it, and enjoy all this amazing content we're giving you. But until next week, for Nick, my name is Lyn. You guys have a good one, and peace.